So, what made you visit Nepal so suddenly, and should we take this visit as the next level of engagement between Nepal and Pakistan?
No, it was a good opportunity. The new Prime Minister had taken over, the political process had been completed, and I am, from the interaction here and even before coming here, very optimistic about political stability in Nepal now. I think the constitutional democracy has taken hold, and I think things will move forward now. And without political stability, you would not get prosperity. We have been through the same process. After 70 years, this is the second parliament which will complete its term. The first one was 2008 to 13, and now till 18. So continuity is important, stability is important, it gives confidence to the investors. So I think Nepal is now ready to move into a different phase of development.
So the two countries have a very long history of bilateral relations.
Absolutely.
But if you look at the trade, it's very minimal.
Yes.
So what are some of the areas that we can explore to make sure that both countries benefit from bilateral trade?
I think cooperation in the past had a different meaning. Today it means trade. So we have to look at opportunities on where you are a large importing country. I think you need to increase your exports to create the balance. We also are more or less in the same situation. In terms of disparity, not as bad as Nepal, but we have exports of about 25 billion and imports of double that number. But you are probably 5 times the import. So we have to look for markets on how the complementarities can be achieved. I think that's so we have tasked the different ministries and also the ambassadors to look for opportunities to remove that disparity and increase trade.
Right. So one of the thing that people are wondering is that PIA used to have a direct flight here, and it is no longer the case. So have you thought about resuming that flight?
Yes, PIA has its own issues, and then if you remember, in those days there were no Gulf airlines. So now with Qatar and Emirates and Etihad and Oman, and so they have taken away the market. So I think with the SAARC, the visa relaxation, a market can be created on a bilateral basis. Originally, if you remember, I was head of PIA for 3 years, from 97 to. So we were basically taking the Nepalese going to the Middle East, to Dubai, to Qatar, to all those areas. Now they can go directly through, a higher frequency. I think Qatar has a daily flight here. And most airlines have daily flights. So, but I think we can look at it. The private sector can also look at the market here. It can be developed. There is a possibility there to develop the market. I mean, Karachi from Islamabad is 2 hours, and we came yesterday in 1 hour 40 minutes. So this is much closer than here by air.
Right. So Pakistan and China have been working very closely on a number of these big projects as part of BRI. We've also signed on BRI. So what are some of the experience that Nepal should learn from the engagement between the two countries?
This is what I shared with the Prime Minister and his team and the Finance Minister and also with the President today, that it's all about connectivity. BRI is basically China's push towards the West, and all the regional countries can connect into that. So the opportunities are there, we just have to capitalize on them. For example, the visible part of BRI today is CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which basically is greater access and efficient access to the sea for all of the Central Asian countries and Western China. So that is the crux of the whole matter. So with that connectivity, investment comes into power plants, into highways, into motorways, into ports, into airports, rail network. So that is all it is about. So I think Nepal can learn from our experience, and connectivity will bring you much greater independence and much greater potential for growth.
So from Pakistani perspective, how should we understand this new research in China?
I think President Xi has provided a great opportunity. I was at Davos, and they were talking about they were talking about the BRI. on this is a project of a generation. It is generational change. So I think the whole region needs to connect into that and opening up to the West, to Western Asia and Europe. So there's great potential here. And when you examine, because technology today provides solutions to a lot of things that were not there before. So, when you thought that highways could not be built, highways can be built there. When rail could not be built in a certain area, it can be built there. I mean, our connectivity to China is through a 15,000 foot pass. But it's now open year round, trade is happening. And so Nepal also has that potential.
What are the best impressions about Nepal you are taking back to Pakistan?
I came here twice before as a private citizen. So this is the first official visit. So I came in 2008, and the city has grown. I see economic growth, and from what the people I could see, the people are, I think, content, they are happy with the situation. I think there is optimism with the government, because in 2008 things were in a state of flux. But now I think there is confidence in the leadership maybe, and because if 80% of people come out to vote, that's a phenomenal number, and 3 times in 6 months. So that shows the confidence of people in the basics. Democracy is basic. It's a basic building block. Once you have that, everything else will come. So I'm very positive and very optimistic from what I saw here.
So you have these 2 giant countries in this region, India and China. Yeah. So how should countries like Pakistan and Nepal look at this, and how should we deal with these powers?
So I mean, everything brings opportunities. It brings potential. So we need to harness the potential. We need to work for improving trade and improving connectivity and improving the prosperity of the people. That's all that matters. So the bilateral issues are there between countries, and they can resolve them as time goes along. And we have seen all over the world very difficult bilateral issues get resolved. But that does not mean that the regional issues are ignored. And that's why we put a lot of importance on SAARC and continuing the SAARC process.
So my next question was on SAARC. Yeah. So I think one of your agendas here was to facilitate this process. Yeah. So has there been progress? Will Pakistan host the next summit?
Yes, we have been willing to host it from day one. We offered in 14 and it was supposed to happen in 16. It has not happened, but we hope that consensus will be there to have the SAARC summit. The other ministerial level meetings are happening, but a summit is every few years is critical. At least you can provide direction to a forum like that. And SAARC, I think, is an important forum for the regional countries, because we have a shared history and a shared culture, and it's very important that that this forum be activated and be made useful.
What would be the next level of engagement between Nepal and Pakistan? Because your visit really raised lots of optimism between the two countries.
I think the bottom line is that we have to improve trade and improve the people-to-people contact. So the trade opportunities, if we can identify them and capitalize on them, that's basically the private sector. The government can only facilitate that. And aside from that, the people-to-people contact, more tourism. I think there is the potential for people from here to go there, especially the Buddhist. We have very important Buddhist sites in Pakistan, and very well preserved, and they are very, very important. In the here, the mountains, we were just discussing yesterday that there are 14 8,000 meter mountains in the world, and 8 are in Nepal and 5 are in Pakistan. So we literally have a monopoly on this. So we can learn from each other's experience and maybe have some joint tourism things that can be done there. because this is a very unique part of the world, the Himalayan range. So and there's people, for example, the education, especially medical education. A lot of Nepalese have gone there. We are now trying to increase that number substantially. So we've already doubled it, but we hope to increase it substantially so that more students can avail that.
So cricket is really popular in both the countries.
Cricket, yes.
Our team is up and coming.
Okay.
So I think there could be engagement between the two teams, and I think a lot of the senior players will inspire our young team here.
Yes. I think Nepal can do well. Nepal has a large population. 30 million is not a small country. And so I'm happy that cricket is happening. Personally, I'm not too much in favor of cricket. But you would be amazed how popular it is in Pakistan.
Right.
I belong to a mountainous area, just like this, like Nepal. We are about 2,000 meters. And it's a very similar mountains.
Yeah.
And everywhere you go, the kids are playing cricket. I always encourage them to play football or hockey, but somehow there's a huge fascination with cricket.
Yeah.
So I think Nepal will be. Bangladesh used to be very weak. Now they are a very good team.
Yeah.
Same thing with Zimbabwe. So we hope to see Nepal. Afghanistan is coming up.
Yeah.
So we hope to see Nepal on the limelight soon.
Yeah. So a lot of people see Nepal as a neutral venue for, say, even for sports or even for diplomatic activities.
Yes.
So could Nepal mediate, like for example, talks between Pakistan and India?
Yes, and the forums are like the SAR forum is available here, and other issues can be resolved. A third forum always helps. So whatever confidence building measures, whatever you want to do, and I think Nepal has a unique sense of history also, so that can help facilitate those initiatives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.